You know what? No. Well.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adaeze and I watch TV. And today specifically, I want to talk about the new streaming service that is in our lives and out and about right now. It's called Quibi. And if you don't know what Quibi is a platform for new shows and new series, but the kick is, the gag, you guys, is that each episode is only between 5 and 10 minutes long, because Quibi stands for quick bites. So these episodes are for if you're on the go, if you're waiting for the bus, if you are on your lunch break. And I think if we were at any other point in time, in life, in our existence, this would have been a smart idea. But the problem is timing, and this pandemic just didn't work out for the makers of Quibi. Right now, we're all in a binging place, and most of us are home. So the app is pretty obsolete in the function it's designed for. And I'm gonna talk about that a little bit because I've been home, right? And today, I started using Quibi at like 5. By probably 11 p.m., I had watched 5 shows. I'm going to talk about them in a second. But I watched 5, not 1, not 2, not 5 shows in their entirety on Quibi. There was one show that I didn't finish, but only because all of the episodes aren't out yet. So I'm only 4 episodes short, which is only 40 minutes. You know, and that's not what it's designed to do, because I'm not supposed to be home from, I guess 24 hours. I don't know what I'm even saying. But from the hours of 9 o'clock to 6 p.m., I'm not supposed to be home. And if I had come home, I would have been watching whatever I was watching from 1 a.m. to 5 p.m. when I started watching Quibi. So I think that they have been a little bit screwed over by this pandemic, and they've given people this 90-day free trial, and I think that they would have to start pumping out the kind of material that Quibi will have to be pumping out to keep people interested for 90 days, in my opinion, is virtually impossible. I watched 5 shows in like 6 hours. So they would have a lot of work to do if they wanted to keep people interested enough for 90 days for them to decide, yeah, you know what, go ahead, girl, you go ahead and take that $4.99 out of my bank account. That's a hard sell. And I know that $4.99 is not that much money. And, you know, I have so many questions on that, because I'll talk about that at the end. I'll talk about if I think it's worth the $4.99 at the end. What else is special about Quibi? Why aren't these shows on Netflix or Hulu and are just shorter sections? So the thing about Quibi is it's designed to be watched on your phone. You cannot watch it on your computer. You cannot watch it on your TV. And because it's designed to be watched on your phone, you can watch things either vertically or horizontally. And the thing about watching it vertically is it kind of just zooms in to whoever is in the frame, which I'm not gonna lie, the way that it does it is pretty seamless, and it's actually very smooth, and I wouldn't mind watching a show completely vertically, but I just wouldn't watch a show completely vertically. Why would I want my screen to be smaller, you know? And it's clearly filmed horizontally. And so whenever it's vertical, we're just missing some of the frame. And so while I think, sure, it's a good idea, I think unless a show is specifically filmed to be watched vertically, no one will watch it vertically. So that's it's just a gimmick. You know, it's just very, very gimmicky. So yeah, those are the special things about Quibi. It's meant to be on the go. You can only watch it on your phone, and you can flip it from vertical to horizontal. Like I said, the timing is off. I know that the app people and this network cannot control global pandemics. If they could, I'm sure they would. But since we're not, going to work, we can't watch it in the 10 minutes that we wait for the bus. And girl, let me tell you, I'm somebody who don't have unlimited data. So I would not be using my data to watch some 10-minute show. I wouldn't, but maybe I would watch it on my lunch break because I have Wi-Fi from work. But because I'm home, that doesn't exist. So yeah, the timing of this release has just been very unfortunate, and I think it's kind of smacked them a little bit, and it's gonna eventually hurt them because we are really making our way through these shows. Another thing that I don't particularly like about Quibi is that I don't like the way the app is set up. It doesn't seem like a very what's the word? Not adventure, but exploration friendly app. It doesn't seem to me like a streaming app specifically. It reminds me a lot of a network TV's app or a network TV's website where, if you missed the newest episode of Criminal Minds, I know Criminal Minds is not on TV, like new episodes aren't on TV anymore, but like, let's say you missed a new episode of Criminal Minds, you would go on, is it NBC? You would go on NBC's website and you would specifically go and look for Criminal Minds. It feels like an app for people who know exactly what they're looking for, and it just needs to be a nicer designed app. If I wasn't doing this review or if I wasn't getting it for free, I would not be incentivized by the app to watch literally anything. Like, yeah, it's just not a very well done app. What am I missing? Oh, and a very annoying thing about Quibi, and yes, I know that it's not meant to be watched in the comfort of your home. You're supposed to watch it on the go. But the fact that you can't watch it on your computer, on your TV, and on your TV was so annoying. Oh, like, if I'm home, if I'm sitting on my couch, if my booty is on my couch, I usually sit on the couch over there, but if my booty is on my couch, I want to be watching something on my TV, or I want to be watching it on my computer because I want to free up my phone. If my friend texts me, you better believe I'm going to text her back. If I see an actress on the TV and I want to look up, why do I know this person? Why does she look familiar? I want to look it up on my phone. If I just want to play a game. There's so many things that I want to do on my phone as I'm watching TV. Like, I so rarely give my TV 100% of my attention. The only times that I will watch a show with 100% of my attention is if there are subtitles or if I'm watching it with someone. Those are the only two times when I will just be like, oh great, let me put everything away, let me put my phone away, let me put my crocheting or my knitting away and just watch this show 100%. It just doesn't happen. Oh, another time is if I'm doing my hair. Those are end of list. And so the fact that I basically just had to use my phone the whole time was very, very annoying. And so while I understand the concept, I think that it's not doing anything particularly innovative aside from the whole screen switching thing, which honestly to me is not really worth the bill of sale. But let's get into the shows that I watched on Quibi, and I'm gonna try not to spoil anything. Actually, I'm just gonna give my arching, I don't know which word is correct, so I'm gonna say both thoughts on the shows that I watched. So here we go. All right. So I actually just finished watching all of Ozark, like from season 1 all the way to the end of season 3 in one sitting like 2 days ago. And so because of that, I've been just looking for light TV shows, and as a result, or like just not TV shows at all. One or the other. And so I've just been rewatching Community in that time, watching a lot of YouTube commentary videos and things like that. And so I decided to creep on their comedy section. And a show that Quibi is pushing so hard right now is a show called Dummy. And Dummy has Anna Kendrick in it. And let me tell you a little bit about my feelings on Anna Kendrick. Anna Kendrick is one of those actors that for some reason, look, I don't know why. Please stop asking me questions because I don't know why. But for some reason, I'm just not able to get on board with Anna Kendrick. I don't know why. Everybody around me loves her. And I just like, she bores me. You know what I'm saying? She just bores me. But every time I see her in something, I'm like, you know what? This is going to be the thing to change my mind about Anna Kendrick. I'm going to be Team Anna. Just watch me. I'm going to be her. I'm going to be the number one on her fan club. Everybody, stop what you're doing. I'm about to become an Anna Kendrick fan every single time. And every single time I leave just being like, again, I was bored, right? And so with this show, I was cautiously optimistic because Quibi has been pushing this show so hard, right? I was very cautiously optimistic. This show is called Dummy. And the show is it chronicles of the relationship of, what's her name? Cody Harrell, and she's a writer, and her relationship with Dan Harmon. Yes, that Dan Harmon. That one. And in case you're wondering how creative, I'm wondering how creative could this show be? The show is based on her relationship with Dan, and the characters in the show are called Cody Harrell and Dan Harmon. I should have known then. I should have known to turn around and run away as soon as because me at that point I didn't know that the show was chronicling their relationship, but when I found out that the character's name was Dan Harmon, I was like, have I just completely forgotten what Dan Harmon looks like? Is this like a Jason what's his face, Vanderbeek situation in Don't Trust the Bee? You know what I mean? Like, is that what's going on? It wasn't. It was just, for some reason, they decided not to give anybody a new name of their own. So, if that's where I should have been suspicious that this was not about to be a creative enterprise. But no, you know what? I soldiered on, you guys. Onward I went. And the premise of this show is that Dan Harmon, he did have, in real life as well as in this show, he had a sex doll, right? And he tells Cody about it, and then she just gets all in her head about, she's trying not to kink shame him, all right? She's trying not to kink shame him, but she's like all up in her feelings about this sex doll, and it's supposed to spark all of these feminist conversations that just end up being so sexist and so terrible. And this is a real quote that the real Cody Harrell said in an interview. She said he eventually threw out his sex doll because he didn't need it anymore. He could use me as his sex doll. So I just need you to have that in mind as the person who wrote this show. So you kind of have an idea where we're coming from. We have a talking sex doll. And wow.
We're all sex dolls until we topple the patriarchy.
That's great. You're a feminist sex doll.
I'm sorry. It's so bad. I wish I was exaggerating how bad it is. It's so bad. So we have this talking sex doll that also accuses Cody of kink shaming her, basically calls her a bad feminist. Cody, this happens within the first 2 or 3 episodes, right? Within the first 2 or 3 episodes, Cody wonders, am I unattractive or am I ugly because her agent got me too'd, but he never tried to hit on her? That's the kind of energy this show is coming at you with.
We're gonna be the best feminists that were ever feminists!
And it just kind of gives me the feeling that the real Cody Harrell is trying to work out her feelings about her past relationship through this show. But the problem is, she should just go to therapy. We're not her therapist. The film crew is not her therapist. Why are we being subjected to her inner demons? It doesn't make sense. And shockingly, IMDb gives this show a 7.7. That's a 77%. That is a C. It's a high C. That show was so bad. It was so bad. We need to throw it in the garbage. Please put it in the trash. Thank you very much. Next show. The next show I watched was Chrissy's Court. And if you've heard anything about Quibi, it's probably because they were advertising. I swear, I could not open my Facebook, my Instagram, nothing without seeing an ad for Chrissy's Court. Like, I didn't know that any other shows existed. Before Quibi actually dropped, I didn't know that any other show existed on Quibi but Chrissy's Court, right? And I like Chrissy Teigen. I'm a big fan of Chrissy Teigen. follow her on Twitter. No, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm going on and on about. I'm a fan, is what I'm trying to say. And so I was very excited for this show. And I'm not gonna lie, I did watch some reviews of the show before I actually watched it. And I think that people are being just a little bit too hard on it. Only a little bit. Don't get me wrong. The show has some major problems. And so there are 12 episodes, and all 12 episodes have dropped. And again, they're all between 5 and 10 minutes. And the problem that this show has is that it feels scripted. That's the problem. It feels scripted. And I think that the show breaks down into 3 categories. The first category, I think 2 or 3 episodes apply, are real people with real grievances, right? Nothing major because this is, like, this TV show, honestly, it's set up as a joke. That's what it is. Like, it's not meant to be taken seriously at all, but it's just...
Hi, I'm Chrissy Teigen. Have you been injured on the job, even if it was your own fault? Did your roommate steal your clothes and try to sell them back to you? Did your ex borrow your phone and return it with a cracked screen? You may be entitled to a cash settlement.
It's not funny enough to be funny either. It kind of is somewhere in between, and I wish it had pitched a little bit harder into the funny zone, but it kind of just stays in the middle but closer-ish to the funny side, and that's the problem. So there are a group of people, so maybe 2 or 3 episodes have people where it's clear that there are real issues and it's a real lawsuit that they tried to take on, right? Another 3 or 4 episodes feel like it's people who get along, and this, like, they feel like the issue is real, but no one is actually taking it seriously. You know, there's one episode where a guy and his boyfriend, there was something about a Lizzo sweater because they thought that their friend didn't like the Lizzo sweater, and so the one guy was suing his boyfriend for $50 to pay for the Lizzo sweater that their best friend didn't like, or something like that, where it's just kind of like, all right, like, this is silly. Everybody involved knows it's silly, so we're all here for laughs, right? So that's the second category. And the third and final category is the most infuriating category of all, where it feels blatantly scripted, right? That's probably about 5 episodes in it, where the cases are just so ridiculous, and the people who are in it, either they just know it's so ridiculous they can't stop smiling about it, or they're hired actors who are actually not good actors and can't stop smiling about it. Like, there's one where this guy, like, didn't know what to do with his hand, so it was, like, kind of down here on the side of his body, and he was just kind of gesturing with it because you could tell that he was trying to think so hard about acting. He was like, okay, just be casual, so just keep your hands like that. And I was like, sir, what are you doing? I'm sorry, what is this supposed to mean? What is this nonsense? Please. But yeah, so I think that's the thing. And a lot of the episodes that are front-loaded are the ones that are very, very clearly scripted. And so I fully, completely, 103,000% understand the reaction of this show is garbage, because the front end of it is pretty rough, all right? And yeah, and I will say I definitely enjoyed the cases I enjoyed the most were the ones, I don't know which ones I enjoyed the most, but I know the ones that I enjoyed the least were the ones that were so blatantly scripted and people were really trying to get internet quotes out of it. There was one where this old guy, the case was that this customer came into his restaurant to get some takeout food and asked the guy to start singing rap music in an Italian restaurant, and the guy said, this is not a rap room, or something like that, and the look on the guy's face made him bump into his speaker and break it, so he's trying to sue the other guy for, I don't know, it's a whole ridiculous thing. But at one point, the old guy who refused to sing the rap music was like, you know why they call it, I can tell you why they call it rap, they just took the C out of crap. And I was like, and it was supposed to be a witty, like, the canned laughter rolled, and it was supposed to be a witty line. I don't really know. I think leaving the show, I don't think that I would go back to watch it, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. And I think that Chrissy Teigen does a nice job, but I think the show itself, the way it's set up, needs to be refined. If we're gonna do these joke cases, that's fine, but don't treat it like a joke. That's the major issue, is these scripted ones where the cases are outlandish, they are treated like a joke. So if you're gonna do a joke case, that's okay, but still act and treat it like it's a serious case. And if it's scripted, hire better actors. I'm sorry. They know what they're saying, so why are you hiring, like, why did you just pluck somebody off the street and say, you know, can you memorize the scripts? You know what I'm saying? So if it is scripted, hire better actors. If it's not scripted, take it a little bit more seriously. So yeah, that show I'm kind of in between about, because I think there were 1 or 2 episodes that I was like, oh, I enjoyed this, but there were probably 4 or 5 episodes that I was like, ooh, this is whack, and the rest of the episodes I feel very in between about. So yeah, incidentally, it got a lower score. It's a 4.4 on IMDb than Dummy, which is one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my entire life. It only ranks number 2 because I really tried hard to watch Ally McBeal during this lockdown. Ally McBeal's terrible. So Dummy comes in second, and it's a close second. This is Ally McBeal, this is Dummy. Like, they're right there, very close second with Ally McBeal on some of the worst shows I've ever seen in my entire life. Wow. Okay. So the next show that I watched, I really enjoyed. It was called Dishmantled, and the host is Titus Burgess of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, of course, and 30 Rock, of course, 2 shows that I love. And he's the host, and the premise of Dishmantled is it kind of reminds me of Nailed It on Netflix. And it's these contestants are in this room and they have protective gear, and a dish of some sort is exploded onto them, right? And they can't see it. They can only smell it, and they have to taste the remnants of the dish and try to, and first of all, guess what it is and try to recreate it for the judges.
Once I hit this button, you'll only have 30 minutes to taste and cook. For Anthony, Dan, and myself, all rise. Let's get Dishmantled! Oh my God.
And so Titus Burgess, of course, he's the host, so he's always the judges, but they have an array of judges. Like Michelle Buteau is on one episode, Shamik Moore is on there, Wolfgang Puck, Anthony from Queer Eye is on there. What's his face? Dan Levy. I must have said Eugene Levy, but no, Dan Levy is on there. There are so many good, funny guests on it, and it's a show that I would 100% go back for. If more, I watched it all, and I was like, this is the end? What is this supposed to mean? Please run me some more episodes. Like, I would watch that show again in a heartbeat. I would watch a longer version of that show as well. I do think it's a little bit too short. I think they could, because the episodes of Dishmantled are only 5 or 6 minutes long. But yeah, if you do decide to get Quibi, I would definitely check out that show. It's good, clean, family, fun. Yeah, so that one is fun. The next show that I watched was Flipped. Oh, I forgot to say, Dishmantled got a 6.8. Still low on IMDb, still lower than Dummy. Why don't people have taste? Can somebody just explain it to me? Where has the taste gone? It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't even answer. It's fine. So the next show that I watched was called Flipped. And when I tell you that I flipping loved Flipped, it was so good. It was so funny. It's starring Will Forte, who in my mind, as an actor, can do no wrong, and Caitlin Olsen, who is also really freaking funny. And
Is this it for us? We're destined to be 2 people with vision living amongst the blind?
This is not our destiny, Cricket.
What? Whoa, what is this?
We're looking for Home Renovation TV's next dynamic duo.
It's Demo Day!
Cricket. You know what all this is, right? And you know what we have to do.
They're so funny, and the show is also written by the people from Funny or Die, and it follows this couple who is just they're a mess. To put it simply, they are a whole mess. You know how some couples are a whole snack? They are a whole mess. And so they love interior designing TV shows, and they see this thing on TV being like, would you like to be an interior designer for this? It's like a fake HGTV sort of TV show. And so they decide that they're gonna they're gonna get theirs. You know what I mean? They're gonna get theirs. And so they buy this house in the middle of the California desert, and they go to renovate it, and basically find some I don't know. They basically find some cash in the walls. This is like the first 2 or 3 episodes, but they basically find some cash in the walls, and and they do this insanely lavish renovation of the place. Come to find out that it's owned by drug dealers, and so things ensue from there. And this show is so, like I said, I just finished watching Ozark, so I just watched the super intense dark version of that, and to turn around and watch a super silly fun version of like dealing with drug dealers or whatever was so freaking delightful. It was so delightful. This whole show is delightful. So if you're looking for something lighter, something funny, definitely check it out. It also has Eva Longoria in it, and what's this guy's name? Arturo Castro. But yeah, so that one is pretty great. And then the last one that I watched is called, oh, I forgot to say, this one had a 7.7 rating on IMDb. The same rating as Garbage Dummy. Get that through your head. People don't have taste. It's fine. I just don't trust anyone. Don't trust me. Don't trust anyone. People don't have taste. Dummy is Dummy should have, I keep going back to this show, it's garbage. Dummy should have a 1.2 rating, and that's only to give credit to the fact that the crew had to wake up probably at 5 a.m. every morning to set up and film that nonsense. And another thing too is it was filmed in 2 weeks, which is not that crazy since realistically speaking, it's only like an hour and a half long. It's not like they were filming an entire ABC style series. Nope, you filmed an independent film. So 2 weeks is not that crazy. But I think 1.2 should go to the crew and the crew alone. No one else. The writer should get -5. In fact, if she has gotten points on other things she's written, those points should be revoked. Anna Kendrick revoked. Everything should just be only the crew. Only the people who were filming, only the people who were setting up, only the people who were editing. The writer, the acting, everybody, we're done. Throw it in the garbage. So the last show is called Agua Donkeys, and it follows these 2 people who just found out that their coworker is now single, and so they decided they want to date her, and they're best friends. And so it's kind of it's a show that has a lot of potential to be incredibly sexist, but because of the way that the characters are the way the characters are built, I should say, it doesn't come off sexist as much as these people are just kind of buffoons. You know what I mean? It kind of gives me, that show gives me a very Napoleon Dynamite sort of energy. And it's also set in, I believe, the 90s or early 2000s. People still had like real, actually probably early 2000s, but people still had real landlines and flip phones, you know, so that's the era that we are in, so probably early 2000s and not the 90s. And
how many times in our lives is our dream girl that we happen to work with gonna be single?
Never. Except for right now.
What are you guys doing? I can't take Jackie on a date.
Which one you want to date her? We both do. How's that work?
We like a lot of the same stuff. Dude, if we jump off the roof of the Sleepy Seagull
and Jackie sees?
Jackie couldn't ignore us then.
Not a chance.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Jackie. What?
Yeah, I keep wanting to call it Agua Dente, and I don't know why. But Agua Donkey, it's not really my style of comedy, but I really enjoyed it. I definitely watched all of it. I don't know if I would, you know, jump to watch a second season, but actually, you know what? Yeah, I would watch a second season. So if the second season came out, yeah, I would watch the second season. I would. But yeah, so if you like that sort of show, you know, if it's your cup of tea, if it's your slice of bread, then definitely check it out. I think they do a really good job of that style of show. So overall, would I pay $4.99 for Quibi? I'm not sure. Okay, so I watched 5 shows, all comedies. 2 of them I really enjoyed. One I enjoyed, but it's just like not really a show that I would go to. One I was like, oh, I didn't love it. And the parts of it that I liked well enough. The parts of it that I didn't like, I was like, throw it in the garbage, all right? And one show, and I'm talking about Dummy, all right? Dummy was, you don't even throw Dummy in the garbage can because Dummy is the garbage can. Dummy is the garbage compactor. Dummy can just go to HE double hockey sticks because it was so bad. And so when it comes to the quality of show, I don't know that I would pay $4.99 for it, because since it's all new, you don't really have the thing that you get with Netflix and Hulu where you're like, well, I can always fall back on the shows that I love because I know that they're there. That doesn't exist because all of these shows are brand new, so all you can say is, I hope I like it. And another thing too is because all the episodes are so short, and so the entire series ends up feeling like just a movie, it doesn't, and I know it sounds silly, it doesn't super feel worth it to pay for multiple months of Quibi. That being said, I think that I might open my subscription every 4 or 5 months to watch new episodes of the shows that I fell in love with and just cancel it again after that. So only like keep it for two or 3 months out of the year instead of all 12 months. That's that's where I am and how I feel about it. So it's like, once, if I have it for the month of April, then for the month of April, I will spend that time watching all the shows that I love and then checking out new shows on it, because you go through the shows so quickly. It's not like when you get HBO Go and you try to watch all of Game of Thrones. Like, it's not like that at all. This is literally just one episode of Game of Thrones will be your entire series. So I wonder if this app is sustainable, and I get the sense that it's not, because first of all, $4.99 is cheap. It's really cheap, and I don't know how they're paying people. So that's a question. And number 2, with the length of things, people will go through all the shows really quickly. So I don't think subscriptions have a lot of staying power. So unless they have some massive endowment, I don't really know that it's going to be a long-lasting platform, which is very worrying, because there are a couple really freaking good shows on there. And if this platform gets canceled, y'all better take Dishmantled to a new platform. All right, Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, y'all better listen up. Listen, here's the thing. Hulu should take Dishmantled because Netflix already has nailed it. So, you know, all I'm saying is, if Quibi were to get canceled, I would not mind seeing my boy Titus Burgess on Hulu. And the same thing with Flipped. So those are my thoughts on those matters, I suppose. Yeah, so take that as you will. Is Quibi worth it? Maybe. Depends on how you're feeling about $4.99 a month. But yeah, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to grow and, you know, get my videos up when people search for things, so that would be really cool. So yeah, please definitely, why did I say that would be really cool? Oh, that would be, I don't even know. But please, if you like this video, hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel. Bye.